implicitly? Are there kind of precautions that you need to take? And of course, each society is different, but yeah, when you kind of handle a subject that is delicate in its political or social implications, do you kind of think over yourself, or is there some kind of self censorship that happens? Yeah, your thoughts.
Um, I there is no self censorship because yes, it's political. It tells many things, but it is subtle and in the background. And this is not because like I wanted to escape from something, but this is how I'm telling stories. And for me, this is an art form, and when this is a way I tell stories, and somehow it criticizes many things. But like you need to think about it and you need to discuss about it. It's not like on the nose. And I wanted to make a film that has a public feeling. What I mean is, in this film, every scene is taking place in public places. There is no any private place. There is only one private place that we could call maybe, which is her car, which doesn't belong to her. So I wanted to make a film uh, taking place in courthouse, jail, post office, hospital, like grocery store, street. Literally, there is no any private place because sometimes when you're in stuck in between things, as she's going through in this film, and me personally, and many people in Turkey, I think, feel that we are stuck, and we don't know what to do. And so, when you have this kind of feeling in life, you also feel that you don't have a private and safe and secure place that you can, just, be in peace. So I wanted to make a film as, like, audience, stay in public places, because like when you go to courthouse, there's a certain feeling, or when you go to hospital. For example, when I go to hospital, even if I'm sick, I feel better because like there are some people worse than you. Or when you go to courthouse, there's someone fighting, there's someone is gonna go to jail, there's something is happening there, and there's a feeling that is uneasy. And so yeah, I want to bring this feeling basically to audience too, so that can make questions. And I'm just gonna add something small about what you said also earlier. In my film also, I don't find myself and I don't put myself in a position that I know this kind of things and I'm telling you the answers. I'm telling because I don't know, and I'm like searching, asking questions, and the only thing that I want that these questions I want audience to ask themselves too, so that there is a connection. But also, I don't believe the films can answer this kind of big questions in just 2 hours. It's not easy, and I don't think it's even possible to tell answers and to find the meaning of life or whatever in 2 hours. But it's a really meaningful tool to, I think, ask questions and to think about it, to discuss about it. So yeah, that's what I was trying to do in the film.
Do you have any more press questions? If not, I had a question about. I mean, you're all showing a film at Mami, which is not, um, which is in some sense a festival outside your home. So I wanted to understand outside your cultures, if as it were. So is there something you think is lost when you're presenting in terms of context and so on when you're presenting a film at a festival to an audience which probably doesn't get all the cultural nuances? Is there something lost? Is there something gained in such a process when you're presenting it to an audience which is not familiar with um, yeah, the nitty-gritties of your the culture from which the film comes?
Uh, Actually, this is a question that I've been thinking a lot because, like, we are traveling different countries and watching our film with different audience in different culture. And there are some moments, especially, I'm curious if the audience is catching it or not. And I'm discussing this with my director friends too. And I see that they are curious too, especially when it comes to humor. Because, I mean, I'm doing some heavy drama films, but I'm trying to put some humor in it, And I don't want audience to miss it because otherwise it's just, dry drama. And I'm curious if people catch it or not. And I realize that even though, and this is an experience that we are going through, even though we are doing, as you said, very local films about our cultures, I think it's true that when it becomes more local, people can like compare and connect with their culture better, and somehow I see that they also catch it, and especially I have to say that in Mumbai, Indian audience, it was such an experience because the audience here is so reactive, so responsive. I never see such an audience anywhere, and I really it's kind of bring to sometimes, like, we filmmakers bring the joy of cinema with sharing our films and traveling, but here I felt that this audience is so responsive that it bring the joy of cinema to me. So I was so happy to meet with the audience here because, like, I don't know, they laugh, they clap, they answer, they just feel the film, So I think it's really important. I'm so happy to see that there is a love of cinema here.
And I think what we also have to accept is that films, it's the celebration of humanity and the human emotion, so to say. It's not possible to understand every cultural elements what we put in our films, but end of the day it's the human emotions, and the emotions, it doesn't have a language or a culture, and that's what we take from cinemas.
What fascinated me that, in a particular scene, one audience from one part of the world, how they react, and another part of the world how they react, and both of the reactions are inspiring for me as a filmmaker. Sometimes when I see the particular scene that one audience is taking it very somberly and one audience is laughing, and that is the joy of making cinema, that they get nuances, they find their own experience, and their own kind of reflection of thoughts and life into that film. And that is also, I think that that is also very kind of intriguing for me as a filmmaker, and as Fidel said, that human emotions, that those are universal. I mean, those will be touched by audiences, but audiences from different parts of the world, when they see the same film, they see it in a different light, and that is really beautiful.
Yes, this is indeed a challenge to go from the very personal and particular facts and to reach out. And as all the other friends were mentioning, in my case also, I've been traveling extensively and saw the film with different audiences. When we were making it, my feeling was that, okay, this is about a particular conflict between Iraq and Iran, and it's very, based in Abadan, as you said, in a very particular episode of that war and all. But the challenge was to convey the emotions and make it live through the drawings, moving drawings, as it is an animation medium. And one day I was sitting, you're engaged in the process, and it took us, 8 years, and also it's such a long process. But and one day towards the end of it, I was sitting in the mix auditorium, rewatching the film to check the sound mix, and all of a sudden I had the feeling that Omid, the character, was alive. You know, I was like, yes, it's working. It's, you know, and I thought it happened to me, so it must happen to the others. And then I started traveling, and the fact was that yes, many people laughed, and sometimes less, sometimes more. Many cried, but yesterday here in Mumbai also there was an amazing moment when one of the viewers, a young lady, came to me and she just couldn't talk. She was sobbing, and you know, so, and it always, every time, it is a surprise to see that what you've been telling about your very particular personal experience is reaching out so far, because as they all mentioned, it is the human base, you know, and ultimately, I think we're there to raise awareness, to ask questions, not necessarily to answer them, but to send people back home, maybe to start reaching out for answers. You know, it's a reflective process in order to be curious, to engage. You know. Thoughts, so that they go and look for things and think about the same problems or same interrogations on their own, you know. And I would want to end this part, at least the answer to this question, with a very personal statement, because again, as throughout the process, I kept thinking that this is about a past conflict, but as I'm traveling with the film, there are more and more conflicts engaging in the world around us. And every time I was in Armenia, they were fighting, you know, in Artsakh, Karabakh with Azerbaijan, and there are many other conflicts, the Ukrainian one and others still. And today, as I was walking into the room, I just heard that there was Israel had unfortunately rejected a humanitarian ceasefire. And this really, really, really makes me, not because of Israel, but just generally, the world, you know, and the state of it really interrogates me, that how is it that we do not learn the lessons from the past wars, you know, because before there was a war, there was peace. Why is it that we cannot simply think of that first stage of things, you know, and today there are lives that are lost every day, every moment, because of this incapacity to think of, okay, let's just stop for a moment and think, you know. So I wanted to just, as a maybe an omen, to put this out, and I hope that this message reaches out, you know, to stop the war, at least to talk and let children live, let civilians live, not to kill them anymore.
On that note, I think, thank you. I want to thank all the filmmakers here for their very generous thoughts and kind of insight. And thank you so much for presenting your films. And we at Mami wish you all the best with the screenings at Mami and for the journey of the film from here on. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Selman, I'm having very little question. Just you have explained about audience. Okay, audience is the consumer. Yeah. I want to know what do you think? Any film, you have made a lot of films. I have created a film. What do you think? What is your mind? That is the film can change the mindset, or it is only the part of entertainment? What is your priority?
I mean, unfortunately, I cannot find cinema only as entertainment, and I'm not doing cinema films for this, and when people do it, I respect a lot. I just personally cannot do it because it's a really difficult thing that you're going through many difficult stages, and I feel it cannot be just for that. But also, I don't think we can like easily change people or give answers in the films. The only thing that I want actually, I'm going through an emotional experience while writing or directing, while making this film, and you just want audience to go through the same emotional experience, and I do care about it. And but the outcome or what's gonna be the result after watching this film, that I don't know, and also I don't care that much because people can decide. But it's important if they feel something. So I do care their emotional experience, and that's the only focus for me. And my films are not that much entertainment, so that's why I cannot also offer that. But I can offer a very specific emotional experience that you will go through during this 1.5 hour while watching the film. That's the only thing that I could offer, and I hope that's enough for the audience.
One more? All right, thank you.
Just I would